discovery was made and what police are saying about how long that body may have been there.
Plus, helping in Kerr County, the monumental task searchers have in front of them and what we're learning about 2 Hardin County paramedics now in Kerrville.
And an investment in the next generation, the nearly $2 million being spent at LIT to train new auto techs and mechanics, why some say it is desperately needed. 12 News Daybreak starts now.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. It's 7:01, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the tropics. Of course, 12 News, we're your hurricane headquarters, and our weather impact team, they're continuing to track this disturbance in the Gulf. Our meteorologists say it is running out of time to develop, and Jeff Gerber, he's been following all the latest updates. Jeff, what do we need to know right now?
Right now, pretty quiet out there, but we are expecting some rain to come in late today, and then as we get into Friday, maybe some heavier rain come in as the system moves into Louisiana. Currently, the system is south of Mobile. It's tracking off towards the west, about say 10-15 miles per hour. So that should put it into southeastern Louisiana later on today. It's a lopsided storm as far as rain. Most of the time on a tropical system, you'll see the heaviest rain on the east side. Well, because of some easterly wind shear, we're seeing the heaviest rain on the west side of this as it works its way into Louisiana. Some very heavy rain falling, say around the Baton Rouge area this morning, back down towards Homa into the Gulf of Mexico. And this will slowly work into southeast Texas as we head towards late tonight into tomorrow. We're not expecting the heavy rains they're seeing in Louisiana. Once this moves over land, it'll weaken quite a bit. But we are expecting maybe 1, 2, or even some places maybe 3 inches of rain with this. Right now, the center, like I said, is over here towards Mobile. You would think it'd be a little bit closer to the heavy rainfall, but it's quite a ways from that. Like I said, it's going to be pushing into Louisiana later on for today. And because it's so close to land, it really doesn't have much of a chance to develop into a typical tropical system. So they're going only a 30% chance, and that's probably going to drop later on this morning as it gets close to Louisiana. So this will not develop into a tropical system, it looks like. It'll just be a little bit of a wave, a tropical wave moving into Louisiana, then eventually kind of falling apart and tracking northward, not even moving into southeast Texas here. Our forecast for today calling for no rain. We'll go with a dry morning and through the first half of the afternoon. Now, by late in the day, we could see some showers start to push in here. And then overnight, we'll go with about a 40% coverage of rain. But today, hot, humid, will be up to about 92 to 94 as far as afternoon highs. Looks like we'll hold off on that rain till later on today. And then tomorrow, that's when we'll see some of the heaviest rain. Could pick up a couple of inches of rain tomorrow. We'll talk more about that, have a complete 7-day forecast coming up in weather.
All right, Jeff, developing in Beaumont, police, they are investigating a gruesome discovery.
Yeah, Justice of the Peace Ransom Jones says a body was found behind a home on Sabine Pass Avenue yesterday. Officers were called to the home around 5 p.m. The body was found on a bed in a building behind the home. J.P. Jones says it was badly decomposed, so they believe the person had been dead a long time. He tells us they can't identify the person yet, but an autopsy has been ordered. Beaumont police say they'll be able to give us more information as the investigation moves forward. It's now day 14 of search and recovery in the Hill Country after devastating flash floods. The United Cajun Navy has been there since day one.
Yeah, and 2 Hardin County paramedics joining the effort now as tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the disaster. 12 News reporter Derek Jones in studio with the latest efforts. Derek?
Mark and Tia, Kevin LaFawn with the United Cajun Navy has been leading volunteers in Center Point since day one. He says the area looks like a military camp with helicopters in dangerous conditions. LaFawn compares the flood damage to a Category 5 hurricane sweeping 100 miles down the Guadalupe River. Joining those efforts on Wednesday were 2 longtime paramedics with Lumberton Fire and EMS in Hardin County. Fire Marshal Jimmy Blanchard says they are there to provide medical assistance to responders. He says overall it's about giving back.
We're part of the Emergency Medical Task Force. They'll be protecting the responders that are doing the efforts, or they'll be responding to local emergencies. That group sends resources to us, for instance, Hurricane Harvey.
The Cajun Navy says it will keep up the search and recovery efforts as long as they're needed. The Hardin County paramedics will be gone at least a week, and they plan to have plenty of manpower here to continue providing services. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek, and state lawmakers, they have formed 2 new committees to improve disaster response and preparedness across Texas.
The committees are in the state Senate and House. They'll tackle key issues from flood warning system to flood emergency communications and relief funding for the Hill Country. Senator Jose Menendez will serve on the Senate committee. He hopes the changes they make will save lives.
If you want to try to address blame, that's a different question for a different time, in my opinion. I think the issue should be, how do we prevent future loss of life?
The special session begins this coming Monday. The first hearing for these committees will take place July 23rd. The second hearing will be in Kerrville on July 31st. Now to a powerful story from our sister station in Houston. Kerrville ISD bus drivers braving the aftermath of the deadly July 4th floods to rescue stranded campers.
Yeah, it details the moments they drove over damaged roads and littered bridges to get to them. Here's Amanda Henderson with more.
Dramatic new video showing the moments a convoy of Kerrville ISD school buses precariously crossing damaged roads to pick up stranded campers and counselors along the Guadalupe River.
You had no idea what you were being called in for, and you said it didn't matter what we were being called in for. We just knew we needed to help.
We knew the basic. We were going to get kids.
Tybee High School principal Rick Zarella is one of more than a dozen KISD employees who answered the district's call for help from Camp Mystic and Camp La Junta.
The sheer devastation, it was very sobering. We had seen floods before, not to this magnitude.
Zarella says the buses would alert each other via radio of obstacles, ultimately bringing hundreds of people to safety.
They were in their pajamas. They were holding teddy bears. They had what they could grab with them in the middle of the night to get on the bus.
Zarella shows us the very bus he was driving that morning.
This is your bus now.
It's my bus now, yes.
Bus 8.
Bus 8, forever.
KISD's Bus Barn, as it's called, houses all of the buses used that day, including Bus 8 and Bus 6, where we meet Transportation Director Ken Knowles.
I've had the opportunity to review some of the footage from that, and what you see is girls coming out hand in hand, linked all the way onto this bus. You watch them get on to Bus 6, and as they're headed back into town, they're singing their Christian camp songs.
Knowles is referring to this viral video, campers and counselors from Camp Mystic singing songs as they come face to face with storm damage.
We'll never look at Bus 6 the same again.
Knowles was out of the country on a cruise when the floods hit.
I mean, you got to be so proud of your team.
Oh my gosh, I've never been so proud of a team.
Knowles says district leaders helped to quickly get the buses rolling within 30 minutes of asking for help.
You can no longer say I'm just a bus driver, because that day on July 4th and then the next day on July 5th, you were a comforter, you were a rescuer, and in my mind, they're all heroes.
You had so many heroes helping, then and now, a couple of weeks later, and I'm sure those bus drivers were nervous at the time too. The girls, the campers are trusting them as they are nervous driving and, over that debris on the cracked roads and all that stuff that we could see.
Tia, I've had my fair share of experience of driving into these disaster zones during times like this, and nerve-wracking is exactly how it feels. That people, unfortunately, they do lose their lives after a disaster comes through, so certainly a dangerous situation. Kudos to them, and that's just amazing the way the girls were singing on the bus at the end.
And important that we constantly remind people that it is still happening, it's still going on.
Absolutely.
Time now 7:09. Another reminder, we've partnered with other TEGNA TV stations in Texas for our flood relief drive. You've already helped us raise more than $560,000. The money will provide direct support to flood victims. Scan that QR code right there on your screen to make a donation. Jasper's Hospital District is buying the former Southside Bank building.
Yeah, the district's board of directors, they approved the purchase last night. The building is worth $525,000. Board member James Gunter says they will allow a physicians group to lease the space. He says the goal is to attract doctors to the area and expand healthcare options in Jasper. The name of the group hasn't been released yet, but an announcement could come within the next 60 days.
And more Golden Triangle growth now in Beaumont. Lamar Institute of Technology is adding a new automotive technology course and a shop to its curriculum. It's meant to help tackle staffing shortages at car dealerships and auto repair shops around Southeast Texas. The program will be tailored for students who are interested in things like engines, electronics, and diagnostics.
Yeah, 12 News reporter Cameron Burchett, she has all the details on this great program.
I'm here at the Lamar Institute of Technology in Beaumont, where they've launched a new 2-year course in automotive technology, something the college says will meet the demand of technicians in our area.
The need directly came from industry.
A 10,000 square foot shop at LIT will be fully renovated and transformed.
Everything they'll learn about the automotive world, that is exactly what will mirror into the workforce.
It will be home to a new automotive shop that will come with an automotive technology course. It's an investment to the tune of $1.9 million. Vice President Angela Hill says she worked with President Sidney Valentine to design the program after speaking with auto shops that are dealing with staffing shortages.
And so from there, in those conversations, it led to the development of a new program.
The 2-year Associate of Applied Science degree allows students to pursue jobs like automotive service technician, diagnostic technician, or service advisor.
The lab space will be immersive. It will be real-like, hands-on experience so that students will be able to leave from here and step day one into an automotive technician position.
Applications for the new program are now open with extra flexibility for students.
If students want a day program, that will be made available. We're also going to offer evening classes and weekend classes.
Hill says as the demand grows, so will the course.
We will later on add things for our electrical vehicles and so forth so that we can continue to be responsive to the community and the demands of the workforce.
Construction begins in August and will be completed in December, just in time for classes in January 2026. In Beaumont, Cameron Burchett, 12 News.
All right, still ahead on 12 News Plus, changes to the TSA security screenings. They are being discussed for our nation's airports. The options officials are weighing this morning on things like how much liquid you can bring on board a flight. Plus, last night's ESPY's skit about the Philadelphia Eagles tush push, that's going viral. Your trending news is coming up at 7:12.
And if you're heading off to work right now, you're looking at temperatures generally in the middle to lower 70s. We'll see highs later on this afternoon into the lower 90s. Rain is headed our direction. We'll talk about that coming up in weather.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Are you looking for qualified employees? You'll find them at the 12 News Job Fair, Thursday, July 24th at the MCM Elegante from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Collect applications, do initial job screenings, or hold complete interviews. The 12 News Job Fair is attended by hundreds of applicants ready to work. Call 409-833-7512 to find out how you can be a part of the 12 News Job Fair, July 24th at the MCM Elegante. Reserve your booth today. As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Developing this morning, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem hinting at another big change to TSA screenings at our nation's airports, as the Transportation Secretary revealing the staggering price tag to modernize air traffic control. ABC's Andrea Fujii, she has the details.
This morning, more changes could be coming to airport security screening. The TSA is weighing changes to the size of liquid containers passengers are allowed to carry on.
I will tell you, the liquids, I'm questioning, so that may be the next big announcement, is what size your liquids need to be. We're looking at, our scanners.
Currently, liquids, aerosols, and gels must be in containers no larger than 3.4 ounces. The rules date back to 2006 and a plot to blow up U.S.-bound planes with liquid explosives. The new possible change comes a week after the TSA announced travelers will be allowed to keep their shoes on while passing through TSA screening.
TSA is working on the technology that we have available to us if we deploy it correctly.
So it's just simply
that you can walk in, if you've got a carry-on bag, you should be able just to walk through their screeners, their scanners, and go right to your flight.
Meanwhile, after air traffic control staffing issues and outages at busy airports like Newark outside New York City last spring, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy revealing for the first time how much it will cost to overhaul the nation's outdated air traffic control system. $31.5 billion, about $10 billion more than he estimated last month. He told Congress that at the current pace, it would take 300 years to complete the upgrade.
We can't wait 300 years. We can't wait, 13 years. We need to be doing this now.
Starting off with dry conditions this morning, but you notice we have more cloud cover moving in. This is from storms that blew up yesterday and last night into parts of Louisiana. And we'll see some cloud cover through a good portion of the day, but no rain until I think later on this afternoon, late this afternoon into this evening. A few showers here and there. This is a camera from our 12 News studio, brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Temperature-wise, if you're heading out the door, heading to work, looking at some 70s again this morning. 73 right here in Beaumont, 75 for Port Arthur and Orange. Woodville's at 74, Silsbee's at 76. Kirbyville, good morning there, 76, and up in Jasper, we're looking at about 72. Not much going on. We have dry weather across southeast Texas where the rain is falling as well to our east, back towards, say, central Louisiana, south central Louisiana, over towards Baton Rouge. That's where we're seeing some of the heaviest rain for this morning. As we expand it out, you can see that heavy rain extending all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico. Storm systems actually east of all where the heavy rain is. This is a little bit lopsided for a typical tropical system. Usually the heavier stuff is on the east side, but we have some winds blowing in from the east, so that's kind of making this a little bit of a lopsided storm and bringing in some heavier rain to parts of southeastern Louisiana. This eventually will start to move over towards us, but as the low works into Louisiana, it'll weaken, so we're not going to see rain this heavy, but we will see maybe a couple of inches of rain as we head towards Friday and into Saturday. Saturday, maybe some scattered showers, heavier rain for tomorrow, but you can see that some of the rain's moving into Lafayette right now, down towards Grand Isle. They're seeing some rain for this morning. New Orleans is really not seeing too much rain right now, and they were first predicting maybe 10 inches of rain. I don't know if they're going to see that much because once this moves on shore, you see just some scattered showers on the eastern side of that system. Only a 30% chance of development now. I don't think we will see any development with this now that it's so close to Louisiana. Once it comes on shore, we won't see any development because you have to have some Gulf waters out there to produce a tropical system. And as it drifts into Louisiana, it eventually drifts off towards the north as we head towards, it looks like Saturday. So we'll see rain from this, but that's about it. We don't have to worry about any wind or anything like that. As we see our temperatures today climb up into the lower to middle 90s, watching off towards our east for maybe a few showers to kind of creep in towards our area. We'll see maybe a few of those this evening. A better chance of rain comes overnight, and then especially on Friday. That's when we'll see some of our heaviest rain, maybe 1 or 2 inches of rain tomorrow, and maybe even a little bit as we head towards Saturday. Increasing clouds today, temperatures into the lower to middle 90s. West winds at 3 to 8 with that 30% chance of rain. 40% coverage tonight as we fall back once again into the middle to lower 70s. 7-day forecast shows the heaviest rain on Friday, the most widespread rain on Friday. Saturday, some scattered showers, 40% there. And then after Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday looks dry and hot as temperatures reach the middle 90s by the middle of next week.
Now, Friday, you might have already said this, but so much, so I'm going to ask you again. Is this on and off? When can we kind of expect that rain?
I think Friday will be a fairly persistent rain through most of the day.
Okay.
Could be periods of some heavier rains, but I'm not expecting to see like heavy rain all day long. I think it'll be kind of a little bit off and on throughout the day, but at least rain through most of the day. It's not going to be one of those deals where, like today, we probably won't see anything until late this afternoon, this evening. Tomorrow it's going to be kind of mainly on and off throughout the day.
All right, stay aware, in other words. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
You bet.
And it's Christmas in July here on 12 News Daybreak, and we're giving away tickets to a family of 4 to Moody Gardens on Wednesdays in the 6 a.m. hour. We're also going to announce our grand prize winner next week. That's going to include that 4-pack of tickets and a night at the hotel and a round of golf for 1. So be sure to go to 12newsnow.com/contest to enter. And it's 7:20, just about to turn 7:21 actually, and it's time for your trending news. We've got comedian Shane Gillis. He hosted the 2025 ESPYs last night with a whole lot of laughs and memorable moments.
Yeah, but one skit involving the infamous Philadelphia Eagles tush push took the cake. Let's take a look.
At the snap, you dive right into his butt. What?
Drewski is so funny. Gillis, a Pennsylvania native, is a known Eagles fan, and he got to team up with the internet sensation Drewski for the sketch. The Eagles have perfected the tush push over the years as their secret weapon. Now, you're into football, right?
Not really, but that's funny. I love a good football game. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not a fanatic, in other words. But that was a great way to describe that tush push.
Yeah. All right. Now to a chance dog adoption that's got to be pretty rare.
Yeah, a California family, they got the ultimate do-over after their senior pup passed away. Jillian Reef and her family had to say goodbye to their 15-year-old Chihuahua Terrier mix. They later adopted Ziggy from a local senior rescue, and something about him seemed very familiar. So they did a DNA test and they found out that Ziggy was Rufus's son. Can you bet that? The family had no idea, but obviously welcomed the amazing coincidence. Now, does this mean that their former dog is a deadbeat dad? Is that what happened there?
Don't even play like that.
Just saying, he didn't know he had a son out there?
You know.
All right,
Just
moving
read that
on.
next story.
Apparently, the Ohio State Fair, it takes its deviled eggs very seriously.
Yeah, the fair announced this year's featured flavor, and it's a weird one. Chocolate chip cookie dough in an egg. Ew, the Poultry Association says it's an appetizer and dessert all in one, and a blend of indulgence and nostalgia. I don't agree, but there are 5 additional deviled egg flavors this year, including hot honey everything, sriracha peach, and Columbus pizza. The Ohio State Fair starts next week. It's some things you just don't mess with.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross. I love deviled eggs.
Me too.
I eat eggs I used to eat eggs every day. Chocolate and eggs, ooh.
It's almost like the story yesterday with the pasta noodles and the strawberries and the
I
sugar.
would eat that first before a chocolate deviled egg.
All right. Taking a live look outside at Jasper. We'll be back in a bit.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/Golden Apple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. Coastal marine forecast for today, calling for a west wind at 5 to 10 knot, seas only about 2 feet. Next high tide is at 8:40 this morning. Then we'll see one at 11:07 for late tonight. Our sunsets tonight's at 8:18. Light chop on the inland lakes and bays. Water temperature at 86 there into the Gulf. Radar right now is quiet. We're looking at rain off towards our east. Some of those showers could make their way into southeast Texas as we head towards late this afternoon. Heavier rain will move in as we head towards tomorrow and then tail off on Saturday.
All right, coming up next, the body was found in Beaumont where the gruesome discovery was made and what police are saying about how long it may have been there.
Plus, we're digging into a new state law requiring the 10 Commandments in classrooms, how one Southeast Texas school district plans to comply.
And deputies with the Jefferson County Constable's Office are now better equipped to recognize autism in the field. They say it's vital to keep the community safe.
And taking a live look outside this morning at Beaumont, your time now is 7:26. Don't go anywhere because we will be right back with more news and weather in just a few minutes.
morning, Southeast Texas. Thank you so much for joining us here on Daybreak, streaming on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. Your time now is 7:30. Let's take a look at the tropics. 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. This morning, we're continuing to track this disturbance in the Gulf. Our weather impact team says it's running out of time to develop. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber has been following the latest on this system. So what exactly does that mean for us, Jeff, since it's running out of time to develop?
That means we're not going to see a tropical system moving to our south and interacting with Southeast Texas here. Matter of fact, no one will see a tropical system. It's just going to bring some rain to Louisiana and then eventually over into Southeast Texas. Maybe a couple of inches of rain for us as we head towards Friday into Saturday, maybe even a few showers as early as late this afternoon into this evening. But the bulk of the rain, the heaviest rain, is going to be over southern Louisiana as this moves in. You can see it's still out into the Gulf, but because it's so close to land, that's why they've dropped those rain or those formation potential down to about 30%, and that should probably even be dropped more as we head towards later on this morning. But the heaviest part of this is on the west side. The heavy rains through parts of southern Louisiana right now, including places like Baton Rouge down towards Houma. New Orleans got some rain, but nothing too heavy right now. This is going to slowly drift off towards the west. As we look at the formation chances, once again, only a 30% chance of formation since it's so close to Louisiana now. It will not form into a tropical system. It will continue to drift off towards the west, though, and then eventually kind of drift northward and fall apart. Because it's going to be pushing it towards south central Louisiana, that should push our rain chances up to about, say, 60-70% as we head towards late tonight into tomorrow, and maybe bring us a couple inches, as I mentioned. In the short term today, we'll see temperatures climbing up into the lower to middle 90s. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. I don't think we'll see too much in the way of rain until late this afternoon into this evening, and then about a 30% coverage, and then those coverages will start to increase as we head towards Friday. Friday could be a pretty wet day. We'll look at your 7-day forecast, show you Friday, then Saturday, and then Sunday. How does your weekend look as far as any outdoor activity? There's one day I think we could get into plenty of outdoor activities. We'll show you that in our 7-day forecast.
This morning, we're hearing some of the chaotic dispatch audio from the morning of the floods.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to understand how this turned so deadly. Now, by 3:30 a.m. on July 4th, that was 2 weeks ago, almost tomorrow, as the waters of the Guadalupe Rose calls started to come in, and first responders, they began trying to evacuate people. An hour later, crews requested to warn residents about the floods, but dispatch said that they needed approval.
Is there any way we can send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
We have to get that approved with our supervisor.
Dispatch from Utility 51. Can you advise who's running command?
Sir, we don't have an incident command right now.
Dispatch, they did their best to help guide crews with no clear command center over as the hours unfolded. Staging areas, they began to form, and hundreds of people were rescued. Well, today, Governor Greg Abbott, he's going to be in San Angelo to give an update on the recovery efforts.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since the floods killed over 100 people. 97 people are still unaccounted for in Kirk County alone. Most of the devastation happened there, but San Angelo was also hit hard. Governor Abbott's press conference is expected to start at 2 p.m.
And the emergency response and flood warnings, they will now be on the agenda for lawmakers in the upcoming special session, which is set to begin in Austin on Monday. Now, special committees, they were formed to make sure all of Texas is prepared for future disasters. They'll have 2 hearings. The first one's going to be on the 23rd in Austin, and then the second one, that's going to be in Kerrville on July 31st. And back here at home, Beaumont police are investigating a gruesome discovery.
Justice of the Peace Ransom Jones says a body was found behind a home on Sabine Pass Avenue yesterday. Officers were called to the home around 5 p.m. The body was found on a bed in a building behind the home. JP Jones says it was badly decomposed, so they believe the person had been dead a long time. He tells us they can't identify the person yet, but an autopsy has been ordered. Beaumont police say they'll be able to give us more information as the investigation moves forward. We'll keep you updated. Time now 7:34. Testimony will continue today in the trial of a Port Arthur man accused of murder.
Yeah, a forensic pathologist and a security technician, they were both called to the stand yesterday. Now, that pathologist, they confirmed that the victim, Jacoby Rubin, was indeed shot to death back in 2021. Prosecutors say 23-year-old Stephen Angel, he's the one who shot Rubin after they fought on Liberty Avenue in Port Arthur. According to investigators, they actually met up after arguing on social media. Now, yesterday, it was this surveillance video of the deadly incident that was was played for jurors. It shows the moment shots rang out on Gell's first trial that ended in a hung jury back in February. Of course, we're going to keep you updated as this trial moves forward. And now to a controversial topic that has been causing some discourse across the state. Starting September 1st, Texas public school classrooms are going to be required to display the 10 Commandments.
Now, that new law is already facing legal challenges, including 2 lawsuits filed by parents and religious freedom groups. 12 News reporter Jack Jones is in studio with a reaction from some of you here in Southeast Texas. Derek, not everyone agrees with this.
That's right, Mark and Tia. Not everyone agrees. It's been nearly a month since Governor Greg Abbott signed the law requiring the 10 Commandments in every Texas classroom. It's already sparking debate about the separation of church and state. The state isn't paying for the posters, but school districts can't accept donated ones. The new law requires the Protestant version of the 10 Commandments be displayed in classrooms, which is different from Catholic and Jewish versions. Critics say the law feels like an exclusion of non-Protestants. Cynthia Wolf, board president at Temple Emmanuel, the Jewish synagogue in Beaumont, says she's opposed to the 10 Commandments being posted in our schools.
I'm a firm believer in the separation of church and state, and therefore I find that there is no reason for the 10 Commandments to be displayed in the public school classroom.
Supporters in the state argue that the 10 Commandments and teachings of Christianity are vital to understanding U.S. history. Several groups have filed lawsuits against the new law, including the ACLU in San Antonio. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Thank you so much for that breakdown, Derek. Now, the Jefferson County Constable's Precinct 1 office is hoping to better serve the community through new training.
Yeah, with awareness growing over the years, it is now better equipped for autism spectrum interactions after training with Harris County Precinct 4. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato, she has the details.
What we're seeing is 1 in 36 kids now are diagnosed with being on the spectrum. And so for me, I felt that was important to make sure that my deputies went and got this training.
Deputies with the Jefferson County's Constable's Office Precinct 1 are now better equipped for interactions with people on the spectrum. One thing they'll know to look out for is self-stimulation, or stimming. It's something Constable Javon Pollard says 80% of people on the spectrum do.
A lot of times that's misinterpreted by law enforcement. So it was important to me to make sure that our deputies could distinguish between what's actually stimming in somebody who might be on the autism spectrum and what's actually drugs or defiance or aggression.
Executive Director Sarah Harden at the ARC of Greater Beaumont says it's important for law enforcement to recognize signs of autism.
One of the big, huge things with a lot of our kids that come up to the ARC for stuff is they are nonverbal. And so by them not being able to communicate, it can often be, misunderstood that they're not wanting to communicate when that's not necessarily the case.
Constable Pollard says this type of training would have been beneficial years ago.
It's important to build community trust. When the community sees that police departments are interested in not only enforcing laws, but protecting the citizens and our most vulnerable citizens, that just goes a long way.
And Constable Pollard says that this could become mandatory training for all officers across the state.
Yesterday was an exciting day for the Vidor Police Department after it was given a big donation for a new canine. Optimized Process Designs, a construction and engineering firm, gave the department $24,000. The money will cover the cost of buying and training the new dog along with equipment. Projects manager George Soto says they recognized the need and wanted to help out.
They live, right? And they have interactions with the community throughout the day and every day. So I think that this is the best way to approach the community. And not only that, they have recently not had a canine for a while, so we want to make sure that they have all the things they need to service the community correct.
Soto hopes the donation will help the department continue to keep people safe.
First responders in Hardin County, they got a big thank you yesterday at a special lunch in Lumberton. The Hardin County Angels of Care, they hosted their Back the Badge luncheon at Journey Community Church. That event served up more than $3,000 worth of food, including brisket and steak, all donated by volunteers. Faye Alston, the executive director of Hardin County Angels of Care, says it's all about honoring the people who keep us safe.
It's to honor all first responders and to say thank you for what they have done for us. They stand in the gap while we get to sit back and do nothing.
Organizers, they also presented awards to 3 officers and a judge for their service to the community.
The group Southeast Texas Impact Initiative is hosting a tribute to Congressman John Lewis today on the 5th anniversary of his passing. It's called Good Trouble Lives On, and it's happening at 6:30 at Borden Chapel Baptist Church in Beaumont. There will be guest speakers including Nick Lampson and AJ Turner, and the group is also collecting donations for Family Services of Southeast Texas. Visit setximpact.org for more information. Coming up on 12 News Plus, we're following severe storms across the country, from a deadly lightning strike to tornadoes and flooding. But first, some of your top local headlines, including a guilty verdict in a fentanyl overdose manslaughter trial. Your Morning Rush is next.
And a few more clouds out there for this morning. We're expecting maybe a couple of showers late today and the heavier rains to come in as we head towards your Friday. We'll take a look at the tropics and your chances for rain over the next few days coming up.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
We bring you the latest breaking news
and keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
Are you looking for qualified employees? You'll find them at the 12 News Job Fair, Thursday, July 24th at the MCM Elegante from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Collect applications, do initial job screenings, or hold complete interviews. The 12 News Job Fair is attended by hundreds of applicants ready to work. Call 409-833-7512 to find out how you can be a part of the 12 News Job Fair, July 24th at the MCM Elegante. Reserve your booth today.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with another hurricane tip, protecting yourself against damaging wind. Secure or bring inside outdoor items such as lawn furniture and trash cans to prevent them from endangering property or people. Trim or remove trees close enough to fall on your home and protect windows with permanent storm shutters or sheeting. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. It's time for your Morning Rush with some of the top stories this morning. First up, a jury will deliberate Harry Lorenthal's sentencing today after finding him guilty of manslaughter yesterday in a deadly fentanyl overdose case. Prosecutors say Lorenthal delivered the drugs that killed John Janice in 2023. We'll keep you posted on his sentencing. A Beauregard Parish volunteer firefighter was killed in a crash Tuesday morning while on his way to an emergency. Troopers say Jonathan Ashworth's truck went off the road and hit several trees. Ashworth died at the scene. His wife Tabitha was in the passenger seat. She's expected to be okay. Jonathan had been with his district since 2018. Robert Roberson is now set for execution on October 16th at 6 p.m. A Texas judge confirmed the new date. Roberson was convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter by way of shaken baby syndrome. If his execution goes forward, Roberson would be the first person to be put to death in the U.S. in a case of shaken baby syndrome.
744 if you're walking out the door. You're looking at temperatures generally into the middle to now a few upper 70s. Notice we have a lot more cloud cover out there now. Increasing clouds from the east as that tropical system moves into Louisiana today. We'll see a few showers late in the day, but this morning looks like it's going to be dry. You don't have to worry about driving through any rain to get to work. This is the view from the Horseman's Western Store over in Orange on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Currently 78, humidity at 94% with a little bit of a northwesterly wind at about 8 to 9 miles per hour. Temperature wise, we're in the middle 70s. 74 right now in Beaumont, 76 officially in Orange, 75 in Port Arthur. Silsbee's at 77, Jasper's at 73, Woodville's at 74, Kirbyville currently showing 75. Radar, nothing over southeast Texas, but we do see some heavier rains over towards parts of, say, south central Louisiana, Lafayette down to Abbeville, over towards Houma. Looks like some pretty heavy rain there. Baton Rouge has been getting some heavy rain for this morning. Here's an expanded view, and you can see the heavy rains through parts of southeastern Louisiana. The storm system not quite into Louisiana yet, but it's inching that way. Probably a little bit later on this morning, if not by this afternoon for sure. This will move into Louisiana, so chances of a development are very low. Right now, only giving it about a 30% chance of development from the National Hurricane Center because it's just too close to land and it's going to run out of time for any type of development. It's not a very organized storm. You can see on the eastern side, which typically we see the strongest rain and thunderstorms and wind, things like that. There's not much out there, just some scattered showers through parts of the Florida Panhandle. The heavy rain is on the west side thanks to winds coming in from the east, and they're blowing kind of most of the activity off on the western side of this. So we're going to be on the western side. We're going to get some rain, but nothing like they are through central Louisiana. They'll pick up maybe 4 to 6 inches, while we'll pick up maybe 1 to 2, maybe some isolated spots of about 3 inches. The track takes it across southern Louisiana, then eventually it takes it up into parts of central Louisiana as just a weak area of low pressure. It's not going to be developing into anything. Right now, winds are at about 30 miles an hour. So we'll be on the west side. Like I said, we'll catch some rain from this. Not necessarily today. We might see a few showers work in here later on this afternoon. It's really going to be tonight into tomorrow that we'll see some of the heaviest rains. And maybe even into Saturday early. But today we'll see highs in the middle 90s, and then late in the day we could see a couple of showers start to work in towards our area from the east. And like I said, heavier stuff will come in definitely as we head into your Friday. So forecast for today, increasing clouds, 30% coverage of rain, temperatures into the lower to middle 90s today, then back into the 70s tonight. We'll go 40% coverage, and then that increases to 70% coverage on Friday. We'll see some heavy downpours, maybe a couple of inches of rain there. Saturday, still some scattered rain, temperatures into the upper 80s still, and then Sunday we take the rain out of the forecast. Hot, humid Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as we'll keep a dry forecast out there, and temperatures climbing again up to about 94, 95 as we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday.
Jeff, you gave us a good idea of what it's going to look like here in southeast Texas, but I always, keep a close eye on what the impacts actually are as that storm or system or whatever moves in. I think of 2019 when Hurricane Barry hit South Louisiana. It went by so fast, didn't drop any rain in Baton Rouge, but ended up flooding areas just to the north of there.
Yeah, well, like I said, bring in probably about 4 to 6 inches. There'll be maybe some isolated spots. We'll see a little bit more than that. We'll have to wait and see, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a major storm where we're seeing widespread flooding across Louisiana. I think there'll be some heavy rains, and there will be some areas that will see some localized flooding, but this is going to be out of here as we head towards, it looks like, Saturday late into Sunday. So a couple of days of some heavy rain for them. It shouldn't be a huge deal, but I'm not going to say it's not going to be nothing. You know what I mean?
We actually had another event that happened back in 2016, and it was an unnamed storm. It was just a system, but it ended up just sitting there, and it turned into a 1,000-year flood event. This was also in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And even something like that, it pays to be weather aware.
Yeah, and we'll continue to track it as it moves across southern Louisiana. We're only expecting a couple of inches of rain, but if some weird reason it would stall out, it could produce a lot more than that, but we're not expecting that at all.
Absolutely.
It looks like it's going to keep moving and weakening.
Well, I'm glad we got you here to keep on checking on it. Thank you, Jeff.
You bet.
All right, one person was killed and several others, they were injured last night after a lightning strike at an archery range. This happened in New Jersey. Now, it hit the ground near a group which appeared to be a scouting organization. That's according to local officials there. A 61-year-old instructor, they died, and several kids were hurt. One person had to be taken to a burn center, and that's not the only severe weather that has been plaguing the country.
Many have been and are still in the path of Mother Nature's wrath. ABC's Andrew Denvert has the latest.
Overnight, dangerous weather across the country. Storms hitting the already waterlogged Northeast ahead of dangerous heat today. In New Jersey, one man is dead and more than a dozen others injured, including children, after they were struck by lightning at an archery range.
It was insanely loud, and the earth exploded, and there was dirt flying everywhere.
Witnesses say they were shocked because it wasn't raining at the time. It's the second death in the state from lightning this week. On Monday, 28-year-old Simon Mariani died after getting struck on a golf course days earlier. In New Orleans, residents are filling sandbags as the Gulf Coast braces for a tropical disturbance that could bring up to 10 inches of rain.
We urge all residents to be on guard for potential heavy rainfall and possibly a flash flooding. The city stands ready, again with boots on the ground, to face this weather system.
The city not taking any chances as it approaches the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history. Across the Midwest, multiple reported tornadoes touching down, this one tearing through Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Extreme heat fueling severe storms throughout the region. And in the Texas Hill Country, search efforts continue as the death toll from July 4th's devastating flooding reaches 134.
Heaven only knows what's gonna happen tonight, I'm okay.
Country singer Pat Green hosted a live stream concert to benefit flood victims, bringing in $1 million for relief efforts. Green lost his brother's wife, and two of their children in the floods.
The one thing I know about Texas is Texas stands up for Texas. I'm trying to turn the sorrow into some bright light.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
There have been 12 lightning strike fatalities so far this year.
Yeah, experts say that if you see signs of a storm, seek shelter immediately. Don't wait until you hear thunder. And when 12 News Daybreak returns here on 12 News Plus, we're going to have more news and weather in your morning rush hour. Your time right now is 7:52.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
filtering out rumors and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers
taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. Sponsored by Sabine Equipment.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back to Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. It's 7:54 right now, and that means it's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. Officials say a body was found on Sabine Pass Avenue yesterday in Beaumont on a bed in a building behind a home. Justice of the Peace Ransom Jones says it was badly decomposed, so the person may have been dead a long time. He says an autopsy has been ordered. Beaumont police say they'll give us more information as the investigation moves forward. We'll keep you updated.
Testimony is going to continue today in 23-year-old Stephen Angel's murder trial. 2 experts were called to the stand yesterday, one a forensic pathologist. They confirmed that the victim, Jacoby Rubin, was indeed shot to death back in 2021. Prosecutors, they say that Angel shot him after a fight in Port Arthur. Investigators claim that they met up after arguing on social media. And here's surveillance video that was played for jurors yesterday showing the moment that shots rang out. Angel's first trial ended with a hung jury back in February.
A jury will deliberate Harry Lorenthal's sentencing today after finding the Finette man guilty of manslaughter yesterday in a dead fentanyl overdose case. Prosecutors say Lorenthal delivered the drugs that killed John Janice in 2023. We'll keep you posted on his sentencing.
And it looks like that tropical wave east of Louisiana will not develop into a tropical system, but it will bring quite a bit of rain to southern Louisiana and maybe a couple of inches of rain for us as we head towards, especially tomorrow into early Saturday. We might even catch a few showers late today. Temperatures are hot today in the 90s. Next few days will be into the 80s thanks to the cloud cover and the rain. And then Sunday back to dry and hot weather, and that will linger through Wednesday.
Well, check this out. A South Carolina mom is going viral for holding it down at Burger King completely by herself.
Yeah, Nakia Hamilton, a single mom of 3, was seen on TikTok cooking, cleaning, taking orders, and running that drive-thru all by herself after a coworker quit. That clip, it racked up more than 130,000 views, with commenters praising her hustle and asking, where's her raise? And at their urging, Nakia launched a GoFundMe and has already raised over $14,000. In an emotional interview, she admitted that she has to work long hours, and that means missing time with her kids, but says that she is thankful to even have a job. Burger King says it is looking into why she was left alone on her shift. That's some amazing work ethic right there.
And you know, only a mom of 3 probably could do something like that.
Exactly.
Or you can multitask like that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Shout out to her.
All right. Thanks so much for watching us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus.
Make sure you come back for midday at 11 a.m.
Have a great day.